Well, hello and welcome to Talk Leadership with Cedrick. You know, everybody needs a little TLC, and I am Cedrick LaFleur, your host, and I'm excited to be back with you in 2021. It's going to be a great year. So welcome to the show. You know, Talk Leadership with Cedrick is where we focus on leadership and personal growth with business leaders, educators, and local thought leaders. Our goal is to introduce our audience to leaders who are making an impact with innovative ideas. You know, the law of contribution is our guiding leadership principle. Growing yourself enables you to grow others. So you can't give what you don't have. So first, you must grow yourself in order to grow others. See, remember, we believe that outstanding leaders like yourself help us to grow others. So tonight, we have another dynamic leader with us. And, you know, every week I like to do a proper introduction of my guest. So let me introduce our guest tonight, and then we will get started. So our guest tonight is Miss Kimberly Eakin. Kimberly was born and raised in Central Texas. So she's a Texas girl. She attended TCU and Mary Hardin Baylor and has a degree in nursing. She has been married for 13 years and they have two sons, 10 and 7-year-old. She has worked in the automotive business for 23 years. She doesn't look like she's 2 weeks out of high school, but 23 years. All right. She began in sales. Then she went to finance, and then she went to sales management. Now she is running the show at Dennis Eakin Kia. Welcome to the show, Miss Kimberly Eakin.
Oh, thank you, Cedrick. It's so good to see you.
Good seeing you again as well. I'm excited to have you on the show tonight. So just relax, be authentic, share with our audience as we have this conversation tonight. And folks, so if you want to be in sales and you want to understand sales tonight, you need to be tuned in, because tonight we have a sales leader here who's going to be able to help you understand everything about sales. And we've been talking about her car dealership as well. So you can get a good deal on a Kia. Just go to Killeen, Texas, and go to Dennis Eakin Kia. So tonight, Kim, what I want to do is, I read your bio, but our audience really like to hear from you, about your journey to leadership, and how did you get to where you are today?
It was kind of an accidental journey, but really just started in nursing and then accidentally ended up at the dealership working in sales. And I found that sales really spoke to me in a lot of ways that nursing did, because you were able to connect with people, and a lot of different people from different backgrounds. And then also you were kind of in charge of your own destiny. When you're in sales, you work for yourself. So as much as you put into it is usually what you're going to get out of it. And I loved that challenge.
Yeah. Sales is definitely one of those things that you talk about the cha-ching, the ringing of the cash register for your paycheck. You really can help magnify that if you're good, right?
Right. Every month it's 0 to 0 is what we say, but it's you're in control of your paycheck, so it also makes it a lot of fun.
Yeah,
and, a lot of people are very successful because of that.
Absolutely. I love sales, but you know what, Kim, what I like about sales more than anything, I love when the customer initially tells me no.
Right.
Because then the fire gets burning. This is then when the charge comes. Now I have to really show them why they should get this vehicle versus that vehicle, or whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I love that challenge.
I do too. And I think anyone that's successful in sales loves it also.
Yes, absolutely. No, don't get me wrong. Now, I love the yes too.
Right. Not more than the no, but.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a bit about your business at Dennis Eakin Kia.
Okay, well, we're in a military town, Fort Hood, Texas, and we of course sell Kias. And we've been in. It's actually a family-owned business, and it started in the 80s as a Mazda dealership, and then acquired several other franchises. Eventually, Kia ended up being the last one that we do have, along with pre-owned, 2 pre-owned lots that we have. But so we've been in the community for many years. I don't want to say, it sounds horrible, but almost 40 years. Time flies when you're in sales, or especially in the car business.
Right.
But, so it's a small community, but a very large community because of the military.
All right, awesome. And what I'm doing is getting our audience ready on the on Facebook here. We'll have people tune in tonight. So, you know, in Killeen is where you guys are located. What separates, Dennis Eakin Kia from the competition?
I think it's a service, and it's not just us saying we provide good customer service. It's really the culture at our dealership. And I know it because I see the reviews, or I hear it from customers, or I still have customers that I sold cars to in the late 90s that are coming back to us, or their kids are coming back to us. And it's, we hire people that we intend for them to make it a lifetime career for them, and they're invested in our business, which makes it where you're not worried. I can send a customer to any salesperson or in service and be comfortable because of the people that we hire and how they have the same mindset that we have, that we need to take care of people the same way you would want to take care of your family members. And that's what a lot of our customers say, is it feels like family.
Wow, and that's definitely something that people want to feel like family, feel comfortable when they go buy a car, because most people are uptight, if you will, when they get ready to go buy a car, right? Because
I don't blame them. You hear horror stories.
Yeah, they're worried about I'm going to get taken advantage of is what's on their mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's good, then they can go to a dealership that has a family type of environment. And one of the things that you said was, hey, the service, right? And I believe that service is salespeople sell the first car to a person, but service sells that second, third, and fourth car. Would you agree with that?
I do. I always refer to our service department as the backbone of the dealership. They're probably our biggest resource for customer referrals is our service department, how they treat the customers. They're the ones who have the most interaction with our customers. Like you said, the salesperson sells them the car, but to keep them coming back, it really has to have a good team in your service and parts.
Yes, absolutely. And folks, let me tell you what. So I've been to Dennis Eakin Kia. I've had the pleasure of meeting everybody that works at Dennis Eakin Kia. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But when Kim talks about the environment, one of the things that some of the employees said to me was the culture was what was keeping them there so long. A couple people said, I plan to be here for a couple of years, but now it's been, however many years they've been there. Right.
Right.
And it's when you feel good about the company culture, it's going to keep you coming back every day. Right.
You're right.
And that's a good thing that I see in your team.
Oh yeah. They know that we're, we invest a lot, and probably our biggest investment is with our employees, because if we're treating them right, they're going to treat our customers right. And they're our biggest asset. So we treat them that way.
Yes, absolutely. I love that, what you just said. If you treat your employees right, then they'll treat, the customer right. And that's Richard Branson has a quote that says something very similar to that. So that is awesome. So Kim, what makes you smile in the morning when you get up?
My family, 2 young boys, they always keep me laughing. And loving my job. My grandfather told me, when I was in college trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I kept saying, well, I can do this profession, I'll make this much money, and I'll do this, and you can make, and he said, it doesn't matter really how much money you make if you don't have a passion for it. So I think it's also finding a passion in what your purpose in life is.
Yes, absolutely. I 100% agree with your grandfather on that. So So you started off in nursing, and then decided to try your hand at sales in the car business. So was it then the entrepreneur bug got you and just like hooked you in?
Absolutely. I think it runs in the family. My grandmother and my grandfather both separately in two different industries were very successful, and my father, of course. So I think it's a bug, and once it gets you, it's you can't be cured from it.
There's no vaccine.
No, there is no vaccine for it. And you see that with all successful entrepreneurs. It doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down. It's just something in you wants to keep trying to be successful or to succeed at whatever it is. And I think to see those, my family go through that when I was very young, to watch them do it, it does get deep inside you, and it can be horrible sometimes because it's sometimes very stressful, but it's always a challenge, which I think is what gets you.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Kim, tonight we'll have entrepreneurs listening. That's who mostly listen to the show are the entrepreneurs. And this is why I like to bring on leaders like yourself who are running large organizations, corporations, and successful at it. So you can help them better understand, there are going to be some good days, but then there are going to also be those down days. But you said something earlier. It's really what you make of it is going to determine the outcome. So that's really that's why I want you on the show tonight, to help those entrepreneurs who are listening tonight, and let them know that the road to greatness is uphill, and it's going to be a struggle sometimes.
There's probably, if you really look back on your career, more struggles than successes, it seems like. But without those struggles, you don't get big success, in my opinion. And I can think of all of the really low moments that, and those are where I grew the most. And I think you bring that along with you during the successful times, and you just keep building on it, and makes you even more successful.
Yeah, absolutely. Builds that resilience and that grit that they need to go. So, 2020 was one of those years that a lot of people are glad that it's behind us now.
Right.
But one of the things that we were talking about, you said, hey, 2020 for your industry had a little bit different impact. So how do you think, or what do you think your business is? How are they prepared for this next big challenge, whatever that struggle is? Could be another round of COVID or whatever. How are you guys prepared to get through that next big challenge?
So this time we looked almost immediately to, okay, everything's shutting down. People will be home. We may not have people in our showroom or be able to come into our service department. What do we do now to kind of change the way we're doing business to reach the customers? And we did that almost, it was kind of like triage. Okay, what are we going to, so we added innovation, that new technology, so there's digital retailing now, something that we talked about a lot, but never really pursued. And so now you can get on our website and you can almost from start to finish, digitally sign a contract even on your iPad or smartphone and pick up your car without even having to come into the dealership. And we added that to the website probably within 2 weeks of all the shutdowns once they began. And the same goes for service. We really got serious and concentrated on technology and making it easy for customers to make an appointment. And we send them videos of their cars as they're up on the rack, and so they don't have to come into the dealership. And it kind of made us become better because everything's moving that way anyways. And we were kind of dragging our feet, one side, and the old technology one side, not really getting there. And this kind of just pushed us right into it. And we had to jump in and make it successful. And we did, and we're better for it.
Well, that's awesome. It's amazing what some type of event or life-changing thing makes you do, right? Like
Right.
you always have on your board, one day we're going to get to that new technology. One day.
Right. Yeah. That sounds like a great idea. We'll do it. We'll try it, next month and then next year. So
All right.
it made us do it. And I'm glad we did. And I think it made also the providers of that technology better because, there was some reasons why it wasn't really easy
Mm-hmm.
to integrate for the longest time. But now we're here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that tell me if I'm wrong, but I think probably for the car industry, it's going to free up your sales team to work with more people
Mhm.
because you have the technology now.
Yeah, it's streamlined, a lot of the processes that are really not a good feature of the car business. No one wants to come in, like you said, into a dealership to begin with because there's a lot of discomfort there. And then,
Mhm.
it shouldn't take 3 to 5 hours to buy a car. So, and this technology is helping us make it so you really can get in and out of the dealership within an hour.
Yeah, that's just awesome. The only thing we need to do now is at DMV, they need to get technology.
It's not going to happen. It's gotten worse. And you're so right. So the thing now, we're quicker now, and then it would take 6 months for the customers' license plates to come in. They did not figure out how to streamline their service. So.
Yes, I know, it's amazing. But one of the things that and we kind of laugh about it now, but I look at churches in the exact same way. They were always resistant to technology because it was the
Mhm.
devil's work.
Mhm.
Well, every church in the country, in the world,
Yeah,
had to switch.
right. They're live streaming now,
Exactly.
and they have huge audiences,
Yes.
larger than what in person
Yes.
was before. So I think
Yeah.
you're right. There's good things that came from this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if one of your clients was sitting right here, right now, what would they say about you and your service?
I would. I mean, it sounds so cliched, but that we're friendly. When customers walk in the door, the first thing we want them to see is a smile. We tell our receptionist, not that it always happens, but answer the phone with a smile, so that I think that helps people feel at ease. And it also makes you feel at ease too. No one
Sure.
likes. It's difficult for salespeople also to approach customers because it's no one likes to be told no over and over again, or
Right.
they're coming from a bad experience somewhere else and take it out on you. So,
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I will tell you, I agree with that. The very first time I went into Dennis Aiken to meet with you about doing some leadership development
mhm,
training, I was greeted like right away
mhm.
when I got there, and I said, "Well, I have a meeting with Kim," and immediately someone pointed me to where your office is and all that type of stuff. So what you just said, I experienced it when I went there for the very first time.
Well, that's good to hear.
um, so you made the decision to bring me in to do some leadership development for your team, for your
Mhm.
sales team, for your service team, for the finance team. Everybody was in that training. Why did you make that decision?
Um, I think for us to get to another level, we had to learn, and me, most importantly, how to communicate better with each other and also with customers. I think I wasn't equipped, and our managers weren't for training on for good communication. And it's difficult to tell somebody, especially us, as managers,
Hmm.
how to have a conversation with somebody, or how important it is, how important communication is. Because people nowadays, they just want to look at their iPad or their iPhone and tell somebody, why they need to buy the car because this, and this, but not how to have a conversation and communicate effectively with people. I don't know why, but it seems like that we're missing that in our society right now.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And everybody's trying to move at like super fast speed, and the service part of customer service is being left out.
Right. And also you've helped me learn how to communicate. Like, first I need to figure my how I communicate, and then how I can better, more effectively communicate with our employees, and guide them into being more successful, which, I want everyone to think like me, and, just, it should be this in this way. And why isn't it that easy for you to have a, conversation with the customer? How do you not know where they work? It's, it blows my mind too. I'll ask a salesperson, well, where do they work? How many kids do they have? A lot of times they've skipped all of that.
Yeah.
Just gone for some reason into, what they want their monthly payments to be.
Yeah, I forgot about. Let's have a conversation. Let's get to know the person first, right?
Yeah.
To make them at ease, develop a rapport, and then they're probably going to share more information with us without us even having to ask the question.
Right.
Yes. Well, Kim, I always like asking that question from the business owner to understand, why they did it. Because not every organization, and it doesn't matter the industry, not every organization is interested in bringing people in to do leadership development training, because they'll say, well, we train our reps, and I said, so what type of things you do? And say, well, we train them how to sell this better.
Right.
Well, but that's only part of the equation, right?
Right.
It's that connection piece with people that's important. And if I connect with you, you're more likely then to buy something from me, versus if I'm just trying to push this car down your throat or whatever.
Right.
So it's that connection piece. So what's been some of the biggest challenges you've had in your entrepreneurial journey?
Again, it would be communicating with people. I mean, the biggest challenge really with being a leader is your relationship with the people that you're leading. And the easy part is running the dealership and the day-to-day. It's managing the people that was a huge challenge. I was told it would be a big challenge, and it has been. But I guess that would be my biggest challenge. Would be, managing people.
Yeah, and this is what you just said. See, folks, I didn't even prompt Kim to say this or tell her to say this or anything. This is the challenge in every organization, is managing people, right? I can be the best sales rep, individual contributor, and that's one thing, right? But when it comes to then managing people, inspiring people, getting people to go above and beyond, getting people to say, I'm going to come in on my off day because I know that it matters to the organization and they care about me.
Right. Just because you and I would do it doesn't mean, and that was when I first started. I thought, well, gosh, that's what you do when you're in sales. If we're not where we need to be, you come in on your day off, and telling someone that, they just look at you like, what are you talking about? It's my day off. So that's been my biggest challenge. And I think like what you were saying, if you're growing yourself and finding ways to grow, then you can help pull them along with you. And so you've been very helpful. I missed you this past year.
Oh, folks, I am going to take that piece right there. She said, I've helped them and they missed me. You see that, folks? I tell you, get out there and talk to business owners. They will enjoy the service you provide entrepreneurs that are out there. Thank you, Kim, for saying that.
Oh, sure. The beginning of every month, they're like, is Cedrick coming this month? So that doesn't happen often with training.
That is definitely true. Well, I want to say that I definitely missed going out there and being with your team as well. I've just been right here in the house online.
Right? Like almost everyone else in the United States.
Exactly, exactly. But I'm looking forward to starting getting back out and start working with you guys again. So Kim, leaders come in all different type of styles and different types of packages, right? What are some strengths, 2 or 3 strengths that you think are important for successful leaders to have?
One, and you're leading to this later, is to be able to ask questions, to listen. I think is a huge strength, is being a good listener. Another strength is not to make decisions based on emotions, to be able to step back and remove whatever personal experiences you're bringing to the situation, because everyone has them, a bias, to be able to step back from that and listen to whether it's a customer or your employee. And then also being the type of person that your employees want to follow or want to be with, or like you said, want to show up on their day off. So leading by example is also very important. It's easy to tell people what to do, but, and that goes back to questions. The more you ask people, the more they feel like you actually do really care about them.
Yes.
And I think a lot of times people forget, again, goes back to communicating, is you find out an awful lot about people that you didn't realize when you just sit down and start asking them about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Things start to come out, and then you learn, some of their strengths that they can bring to the table that maybe they didn't even realize they had.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing. Like you said, when you sit down and then have a conversation with people and you say, oh my God, I didn't realize that this person could do this.
Right. And then you tell them, hey, did you know that you would be really great doing, they're like, no way. But it works out, that's how we have people that have, started as porters, and now they're techs making, 6 figures in our service department. They never knew that, something that they kind of thought was a hobby, that they could turn into a profession. And I wouldn't have known it had I not gone back there and talked to them, like what they did on their days off, why they wanted to be a porter. So
awesome. I absolutely love that. So then one of the things I ask is, good leaders ask great questions.
Mm-hmm.
So what are, what are some of those questions that you have either asked or someone has asked of you and you thought, wow, that's a great question?
So I couldn't think of just one question.
Oh, it can be multiple. Fine.
I couldn't, but I did. Someone did ask me, which was kind of profound to me, what do you do all day? And I thought, well, I kind of just walk around and ask questions all day. And it sounds very simple, but it's really the only way to, I think, be successful in running a dealership, or probably any business, is really getting out there. And, a lot of the times you already know the answers to the questions, but you don't know how they got there. And you don't want to put them on, be defensive about it, because you're not trying to say they're doing something wrong, but you need to figure out how we got to this point, and maybe where the breakdown was, or how we can make it better and more efficient. So it's just, I guess, making yourself a really good question person.
Yeah.
Not being able to ask people questions without putting them on the defensive, which is,
yes. Yeah.
they'll shut down because they don't want to be wrong, or they're afraid that what they say will be wrong. So it's being able to ask those good questions.
Yeah. So I always tell people, if you just use these 3 words and put it in front of any sentence you want to, it's going to turn into a question. What, how, and why? What is it you want to do? How are you going to do it, and why you're going to do it? Right. No matter what it's going to turn into a question. They can't say yes or no. So then you're going to get them to open up and tell you what it is you want to know.
Mm-hmm. that
I love
simplifies
that.
it. So, yeah.
I love that. But I love what you said. Hey, well, what do you do? I just walk around and ask questions all day.
That's honestly what I do.
But
I know
folks,
sometimes they hear my heels come down the hall and think, oh gosh, ask me some questions.
I was going to say, folks, don't get it wrong. Now, she's not asking easy questions. He's what are you selling today? How many did you
No,
close today? When we're going to get the contract?
right. A lot of times I'm looking at the numbers, the on the financial statement, and actually that pretty much tells you a very good spot of what's going on.
Mhm.
You have to really get to where that number came from, and that that's where the questions come into the source, which is the departments.
Sure, absolutely. At the end of the day, it's still a sales organization, and you got to grow sales, right?
Right.
Yeah. If you made the same number this year that you made last year, you really kind of lost, right? Because the dollar value went down some.
Absolutely. And, a lot of people like to pat themselves on the back and say, hey, this December was just as good as last December. Well, that's not good. It's my job to say in a nice way, no, it's not. That's not good.
Right. Keep trying.
Right. Yeah.
I get it. That's why I love sales organizations, though, because it's the challenge of going out there and get those new sales and make things happen. So, Kim, we have a session on the show that we call "Would You Rather."
Okay.
So, would you rather pick the year that you die or pick the way that you die?
Oh gosh. By the way.
The way? All right. Nobody wants to know when.
No.
So would you rather have free Apple products forever or free Wi-Fi wherever you go?
Apple products.
Apple products? Yeah, I would too. Would you rather have your own private island or your own private jet?
Jet.
Jet. All right. Two more. Would you rather be a ninja or rather be a pirate?
Oh, it's probably going to sound bad, but a pirate.
Pirate? See, I want to be a ninja. I want to be able to throw that star.
Right. Sneak up on people.
Yeah, exactly. So last one. Would you rather have $1 million in Amazon gift cards or $100,000 in real money?
The real money.
The real money? Okay, all right. So I'm gonna take the million because I'm buying everything on Amazon already. I'm already buying everything on Amazon anyway, so I might as well just have the
no, my husband said if the Amazon truck passes our house, he knows they're lost, that they're
So see, you need the
I need $1 million of gift cards. You're right.
You're about to say take the gift cards. It's amazing how we've gotten so accustomed to having that smiley face come to our door.
Isn't it? It's everybody. My dogs know. They don't bark at him anymore.
Oh, that's just him.
Yeah, it's the guy that shows up every day, sometimes 2 or 3 times.
Oh, that's funny. Well, thanks for playing that segment of Would You Rather. So, guys, we are talking to Kimberly Eakin from Kimberly Eakin Kia from Dennis Eakin Kia. And if you need a car, if you're looking for a sport utility, a sedan, an SUV, right?
Mm-hmm. Sports car.
Mm-hmm. You need to reach out to Dennis Eakin Kia in Killeen, Texas. And you know what? You don't have to live in Killeen to buy a car from Dennis Eakin Kia. You don't sell cars just to people who live in Killeen, right?
Oh, absolutely. Houston, Dallas.
Exactly.
Even Oklahoma. We're everywhere now.
Exactly. So you'll see right on the screen their website address. You just click there and you can go there. We're going to put it in the comments as well, so that way you can click on the link. And here's what Kimberly said earlier, if you weren't here. They have technology now that you can practically do everything for your car buying process right online. Mm-hmm. Okay. So if you need a car, if you're looking for a car, you're looking for a good deal, reach out to Dennis Eakin Kia. I'm going to put the link right in the comments, so you can just click right on the link and go right there. So give me 1 second. Let me click this and put this in the comments for the audience. There you go. It's there for you now. You can click right on that link and go to Dennis Eakin Kia. Folks, I'm telling you, they will take care of you. I know pretty much all their sales team, unless they've hired some new people, all their salespeople are professional, courteous. They know what they're talking about. They know the technical specs of a car. They have great customer service skills. They can help you get in a car right online, and well, you still have to go and pick it up. You can't drive it online, but
they can deliver it.
They can deliver it. Yeah, there you go. If you're in the market for a new car, or you're in the market for a used car, prior owned car, call Dennis Eakin Kia, and they'll take care of you. Tell them you heard Kimberly on Talk Leadership with Cedrick, and they'll take care of you. All right. So, Kim, many times new entrepreneurs give up. They throw in the towel. A lot of times within the first 5 years, and a lot of entrepreneurs fail. What advice would you give someone who right now they're listening in, but they're questioning whether they should give up or not?
I would say to not give up, first of all, but to kind of know that what your struggles and how you're getting through them now, currently, is what will make you a better entrepreneur later and more successful. When I started as an operator for the dealership was in 2009, which was probably one of the worst years in the car industry. The banks had failed. It was horrible. We were selling nothing, and we weren't the only ones, and we didn't have any lenders. And the lessons that I learned and the struggles I went through at that time have made me much better now, where when 2020 came along, I prepared for it. And it helped me prepare our employees for it in our dealership and put them in a better situation. So a lot of times the failures is the only way we grow. It sounds very cliched again, but it's those struggles and that discomfort that makes you a stronger, more resilient business person.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And entrepreneurs, I hope you're paying attention to this. I hope if you're listening live or if you're listening to the replay, I want you to make sure that you understand what Kimberly is saying. There are going to be those downtimes. She said even earlier, sometimes the struggles may seem like they're more than the successes. But when those successes come, you're going to be prepared to handle those successes because of the struggles you went through, right?
Yes. And it makes you, during those successes, you, in the back of your head, you remember those struggles. So I always like to have, like, what's my plan B or my plan C, or, and I think that it puts you in that mindset and helps you. So when you become a very calm person too, when, some of the later in life, when you have the struggles meet you again, you're able to step back and really come up with a plan.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So what's been one of your most defining moments in your life?
I think becoming a mother. It was later in life, and I was working, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. It was not something that I thought that I could introduce into my life. And so becoming a mother, I think it made me a better business person. And so that was my greatest moment in life, or my
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so you have 2 sons, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. And so growth has to be intentional.
Mm-hmm.
And so what do you do for professional and personal growth?
So for professional and personal growth, I read a lot. Probably, and I did this as a younger person also. So probably about 2 hours a day I'm reading, whether it's industry magazines or on, reading articles about the industry online. And then also I read a lot of history, and I'm not really good about self-help books, but I do like to learn history, and science. I love science.
Okay. All right. Well, nothing should be ashamed about learning more about science, especially right now. The healthcare industry needs a lot of help.
Right.
Um,
I think people do. But, and then outside, I always tell my kids too, it's okay to be uncomfortable. So I think if you put yourself purposely into uncomfortable situations, that makes you grow. And so I do it physically, like, I've done it a couple marathons, or signed up for trips that, it's where you're camping and for a week or 2 weeks. So you have to make yourself uncomfortable sometimes to grow.
Yes, to get outside that comfort zone. And some of my audience knows that I wear this armband that actually we gave to your team as well. It says,
Yes.
get outside that comfort zone, right? Well, let me see that.
Right.
Yeah, outside that comfort zone, right? So I like that. See, folks, it's working, right?
It does work. It absolutely does. And you rarely regret getting outside that zone.
Yes.
Whether it's somebody that you've met, or something you found out personally about yourself. So it's a good place to be.
Absolutely, definitely beneficial. Now, so we've all had successes in life, and you've had a lot of successes in life, and but we've also all had failures, right? Mm-hmm. So tell us about a failure that you had, and what did you learn from it?
Probably it's, again, in my profession, but it's letting my emotions help go to make a decision, whether it's without thinking it through. So so that would probably be like when I was younger. Emotions like anger.
Sure.
How could they do this to us? And so I think being able to step away and not be emotional at work has been, that was my biggest probably struggle when I first started. But so I think that would be it.
All right. Controlling that. Yeah. And that happens when especially if you're a young leader, or you're put in charge of something, and you see someone that that they have what it takes to go to the next level, and they're not giving it their all to go to the next level. It frustrates you, right?
It's very frustrating, especially if you're not that person. It's very frustrating to see that in others. And you need to think of yourself as a person. You're going to be their coach. I'm going to coach through it. And sometimes it can be frustrating when that just, sometimes it just doesn't work out. So
yeah, absolutely. I remember, Kim, when I was a young leader, and my director would tell me at the time, he said, "Look, Cedrick, you can't go be the super sales rep for everybody."
That's true.
But let me tell you what, Kim, it took me a few years. I never would get it, because I still would go and say, okay, I'm going with this. I remember one month, it was in May. I remember it. Every day for that month, I was on an airplane traveling somewhere with a rep.
Right.
I was driving. I was just like, we got to get it done. And my director said at the end of May, he goes, "That was nice, but that's not what we pay you for."
That's true. But I understand that, though, because you do think I'm going to make this happen.
Right.
So for them.
Yes, exactly.
You can't always do.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely can't always do that. So if you had to list out what's been the best, well, this year's too early, right?
Right.
What's been the best thing that's happened this year so far? It's been New Year's. But let's take 2020. Let's say what's been the best thing that's happened.
I think it was being able to take a step back from everything. I think we all took a reset with our family, with our faith, with putting priorities. I think that for me, 2020, that's what was the best thing about it, was letting us all kind of take a breath and slow down and appreciate what we have around us.
Yes,
So
absolutely. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Definitely. If 2020 didn't make you take a step back and reevaluate everything you do in work and family, your social environment, relationships, and all this type stuff, then I don't know what else will, because 2020 was definitely one of those years.
yes.
I know we have the your website still up on the screen. I put it in the comment section for people as well. But what do you want to tell our audience before we wrap up about contacting you guys at Dennis Eakin Kia?
Well, we make it very easy. So, and it's just efficient. Just if you're on our website, you can actually just choose the vehicle you want. We have all the information, all the, now technology is amazing with all the manufacturers, but I tend to think that Kia has the best. And then you just click that you want to purchase it. It even gives you financing options. And you can do it on your smartphone, your iPad. And if you'd like to, we'd love to see you and come in to visit us. But you don't even have to see us. You don't even have to talk to us. You could just text and email.
Yes. And if you need a car, you see the link right on the screen. It's in the comments as well. We've made it very easy for you to contact Dennis Eakin Kia in Killeen, Texas. So Kim, two more questions for you. This one is, if there was a book that was written about you, what would the title be? And what would the summary in the back of the book say about you?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. The girl who loved adventure and challenges. Okay. But, maybe the summary would be, again, just always wanting to grow and find new challenges. I don't ever see myself not up for a challenge, whether it be personally or in business or physically.
Awesome. So now, last question for you. So it's just you and the four walls at your house, right?
Okay.
Husband's gone, the kid's gone. What dessert are you going to eat?
Oh, Ben and Jerry's. It's cookie dough with chocolate chunks in it. I don't know what the name of it is.
Okay. They always have such great options.
Yeah.
I like that chunky monkey or the chubby hubby or something like that.
Is that the one with the nuts?
Yes.
Yes. Then that's what yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Kimberly, this is amazing. This time has gone by so fast. I want to thank you very much for taking the time out to come on the show today. I truly appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to getting back out and working with your team again. I'll be reaching out to you and we'll be talking about that. But again, truly, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Well, thanks for the invitation. I enjoyed it.
Awesome. And so tell everyone I said hello over at Dennis Eakin Kia. And folks, again, the link is in the comments. It's on the screen right here as well. So if you're listening to the replay, you still have an opportunity to go and buy a car from Dennis Eakin Kia. Remember, every time I tell you folks, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu, and don't be on the menu.